So there has been a lot of controversy that sort of dogged Mario Kart World since its announcement, whether it's the price tag of $80 or the changes to gameplay or structure of the game, so on and so forth. I'm not really here to talk about any of that, although maybe we can in the future. I want to talk about 3 assets that were shown off in the recent Mario Kart World Direct, because there's something odd going on with them, and I think it's worth discussing. So, for starters, we have this retro-themed Mario Kart billboard, and actually, we're just going to look at billboards today. Not like a huge part of the game or anything, but I still think it's interesting. And if you look at the bottom of this billboard here, you can see the Mario Circuit text. Something weird is going on here. And what I believe we're seeing is some sort of AI upscaling artifact. Now, it's really no secret that the switch to is sort of driven by AI in a lot of ways. DLSS is at the center of a lot of major third-party games that we're seeing, Cyberpunk 2077 and Street Fighter 6 being huge examples of that. And they look really good, right? But it seems it could be going a little bit deeper than that, and in this case we actually see some of the assets being upscaled using AI, not necessarily as a post-process, and it can lead to some poor quality visuals, in my opinion. Like, this text just looks like goop, basically, and I hope they're able to figure out a way to fix that. The question is when is the upscaling taking place? Is it happening like at runtime, basically? So like they have a low resolution original asset that at runtime is being upscaled by the engine and it's producing these kind of weird, gross looking artifacts? Or did they upscale this beforehand and they just didn't do any sort of quality control on it? That's sort of the question here. And I think the bigger one is, can they fix it? Because right now it looks ugly. And the Mario Circuit part's the most egregious, but if you look to the right, the dating on it also has this weird kind of smudgy, gross look. I've seen some people suggest this is a style decision, but I really don't think so. It just doesn't look very good if that is the case. It doesn't look like anything but like computer smudging, which I don't think was the intended style. So that's one thing. But on perhaps the more dire end, depending on what your sort of view on AI, generative AI is, we have this bridge here that's like advertising a construction company or whatever, and clearly this is not an upscale of a human-made asset, right? This is just like a totally AI-generated texture. The supports on the bridge are totally inconsistent. Elements like the flags don't look consistent on both sides. There's the thing that gets me are the weird like upside down L shapes that are in the background. Are those supposed to represent cranes? They seem like sort of a halfway between a crane and part of the bridge. And my only question is, it's not whether or not this was AI generated, because I think that is clear to anyone with like critical thinking skills. Is this being used as a placeholder, or will this be in the final version of the game? As a placeholder, I think it's fine. I could even maybe see it as a more genuine use of this generative AI crap, right? Because we've seen prototypes of games before, and it's just some random PNG. At least there's some context with this texture, and so if they go back and they, fix it up or whatever, I'm fine with that. If this makes it into the final game, that sucks. Frankly, I will be pretty frustrated with that. Not to get too preachy, but at that price point, I really would expect that every asset was made with care. That's just what I've come to expect from Nintendo, and now we're at this higher price point, and we wouldn't be getting that as much, I guess. It sort of irks me just a little bit, so I'm really hoping that this is some sort of placeholder thing. Along with this discussion, there's also this third piece that people have been talking about, and whether or not this was AI generated, I think this is more up in the air. It's more of a question mark. It definitely has like the same issue of sort of warbly lines that we see with the bridge as well. But maybe this just is it just kind of sucks, and not necessarily AI generated. It's more coherent at least than the bridge is, which I think is the real giveaway with that one. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the Switch 2 sort of is a AI-driven console in some ways, but how that is harnessed and how that is used is going to determine sort of my tolerance for the whole thing. I don't really have a problem with DLSS, and I've been impressed by the results so far, but I'm less impressed by these AI textures. So anyway, that's all from me. Tell me why I'm stupid in the comments below. All right, bye.